Hello, here we go with another midweek message. 6 centigrade, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 centigrade, 42 Fahrenheit, 95% humidity. My water butt is almost full, it's been lashing with rain all night. 996 millibars on the barometer, and the flag, or it is just about daylight, is wrapped round the pole, soaking wet, but there is quite a breeze from the west. We have the usual nonsense, Arctic blast to cover Britain and beast from the east to Ice Age Britain again, all this nonsense online. It's hardly worth reading it all out. Do you remember last year I was going on about it? Every 5 minutes I'm getting warnings, alarms, alerts. You're going to be covered in 50 metres of snow and all this business. Shops to run out of food. Well, that could be a possibility. It's Tuesday today, Tuesday the 19th of November, 24. Just in case you forget which year it is. I do. I sometimes forget. Our farmers are all heading for Westminster, so they're all heading there in their tractors. They reckon 5,000 tractors. Apparently they're not going to dump manure on Downing Street. There were sort of rumours that they were going to tip pigs and cow manure on 10 Downing Street, but I don't think that's happening. I think that was a bit of a lie anyway. For a start, you can't get into Downing Street. There are gates across the end. You used to be able to. I remember as a child being taken to London, stood outside number 10. There was a policeman on the door, of course, but you could walk up Downing Street. I don't know when they put the huge iron gates and all that stuff there. Anyway, now, listen to this email from June. Hello, June. A long email. I don't like long emails. Some of the emails I get are like a book, page after page after page. It takes me hours to read them. Anyway, June, this was a really interesting long email. I'm going to talk more about this on Sunday, but for now, just a glimpse of what's going to happen, just a taster, a synopsis. June lives in a village. She doesn't want me to mention the village. Well, I can't, June, you've not mentioned it yourself. She says, don't tell people where I live. Well, I don't know where you live. They had in the village a phone box, a red phone box. The phone had been taken out. No one used it, blah, blah, blah. Phone box got a little bit dilapidated in the end. It needed cleaning, it needed painting. So June went to the parish council meeting. They have a meeting every now and then. June got a few of them together and they decided that they would paint the phone box. Oh, we can't do that. There's this one lady apparently on the parish council. Oh, you can't do that. No. It's not our phone box. It belongs to who it was. What was it? GPO. It's now Ofcom. I don't know who it belongs to. Can't do that. You need their permission. June says they did try and contact whoever it was. Didn't get an answer, didn't get a reply. Parish council lady again, oh, you can't do that. So what did they do? They said, well, we'll clean it. So they went out there, they cleaned it, rubbed it down, right? And then one evening, when it was dark, it was in the summer, by the way, they went and painted it, gave it an undercoat. What was it? Grey undercoat, I think you said, June. Is that the right colour, grey for a red phone box? Anyway, the parish lady, who's done that? Who's done that? And June said, oh, it must be the, Ofcom. They've obviously sent a man out. And another night, once the undercoat was dry, they painted it red. Cleaned it all up. The glass was all shiny. Looks like a new phone box. And there was another thing that happened. A bus shelter, an old wooden bus shelter. You know the old wooden bus shelters? It was falling down. So at the parish council meeting, June and her little gang, sounds like a gang, June, a gang of rebels. She said, we're going to rebuild the bus shelter. It's just about to fall down. And Fred, let's call him Fred. He's a carpenter. He's got the wood. He said he's going to build a bus shelter. It looked lovely. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, no. Oh, one of my jobsworth. You can't do that. It's not our bus shelter. You have to ask the bus company. So June tried to get onto the bus company. They said, well, we can't do that. June didn't say, we'll do it ourselves. She just said, can you replace it? And they said no. So what happened was, June and her little gang of retrobates, rebels, pushed the bus shelter over. It was rotten. It just fell over. All you got to do is lean on it, she said, and it fell over. Of course, they cleared the wood away. The parish council lady, oh, no, you can't build one. It's not out. We're not allowed to do that. Oh, no. So the carpenter built one in his back garden, measured it all up. One night, half a dozen of the lads carried this bus shelter down the country lane and stuck it on the concrete base. Bolted it down, and the council lady said, oh, they've done it. They've replaced the bus shelter. And June said, that's amazing. I only took one phone call, told them about it, and they've obviously done it. That was quick. I won't bore you with too much of this, but there's one more thing. There was a pothole in the road, and June and her gang said at the council, "Oh, Fred, he's got some tarmac, he's going to fill in the pothole." "Oh, you can't, that's highways, you can't do that, that's down to the highway people. We'll get into trouble, blah, blah, blah." Anyway, Fred went out there one evening when it was dark, cleaned out the loose stuff, put his tarmac in there, job done. And the usual, of course, June said, "Oh, I got on to the highways people," or whoever it was, and they've obviously done it. But the moral of the kind of story is, isn't it ridiculous in this day and age? This is all recent, by the way. It's not decades ago. In this day and age, you can't do anything. You're not allowed to touch anything. When I worked on the boats, I used to do the radar and echo sounders, sonar, ship-to-shore radio, all this rubbish, on the boats at Southampton and down in Poole Harbour. I hated it. I was fitting a burglar alarm to a boat this chap had on his expensive yacht. Don't you know? He'd had one or two burglaries and he wanted a burglar alarm, so my job was to fit it. Went to cut a hole in this piece of wood. There was a panel, I was going to fit it in there. And the chap on board, he was the engineer, he said, no, you can't drill a hole in the wood. I said, "Well, why not? It's only a wooden panel, I need it to fit the alarm." "No, we've got to get a chippy. If you do that, we'll have everyone else on strike. You're the radio technician, not a carpenter, you can't do that." "Oh, no, oh dear me." Anyway, I had to wait 2 hours for a carpenter to turn up to make a hole in this bit of wood. Of course, he sent his bill in to the company I worked for. Stone the crows, you can't do anything. In some villages, for example, the village where I lived, where I was actually on the parish council, if you remember, decades ago, the roads were what they call unadopted. There were no street lights, the council, the highway people didn't do anything, the roads were unadopted. So if there was a pothole appeared, it was down to us to fill it. In fact, it was awful. I was up on the stage in the village hall sitting with the other parish council members, and this chap in charge, he said, "Right, if anyone's got a pothole outside the house, let Ray know." Read out my phone number, told them my address, which they had anyway, it was on the kind of books. So I had people coming round my place. "There's a pothole outside my house. Oh, there's my address." Look, they'd phone up. "Is that right? Yeah, there's a pothole." We didn't have many back then, but it was my job, and I had to walk round. It was my job to walk round the village. It was quite a large village, looking for road problems, potholes and things. It wasn't me being a parish councillor. It just wasn't me at all. I got roped into it. A friend of mine was leaving and he said to them, "Look, a friend of mine, Ray, he'll do it. And he came to me and he said, "I've nominated you." "What? I don't want to do that." No, you'll be good at it." I got roped into it. I had to go for an interview, which I wasn't very good at deliberately because I thought they'd say, no, sorry, you're not for us. Anyway, they said, "Oh, you're ideal." Why was I ideal? I was, in my 20s? I wasn't ideal. I wasn't interested in the roads. I was interested in the pub. No, I wasn't. What am I saying? In the village that June's talking about, it's not unadopted. It is, the street lighting and the lane. Apparently there's one lane, you said, June, that runs through the village. So presumably there are street lights. It's not unadopted, is it? Because the country lane goes right through the village, so it's down to the highway or whoever. So that's interesting. It made me laugh, that email. Well, not laugh. It makes you want to cry, and it's funny at the same time. Raise Rants at protonmail.com. Anyone got any similar stories? I did hear on the telly was it last year, 2 years ago? Some chap filled in a pothole with concrete. He was fed up with it. Went out there with a load of concrete, tipped it in the hole, sorted out the trouble. It was great. Everyone was happy, but he got taken to court. No, you've interfered with the highway. That's against the law. I don't know what happened after. I don't know whether he went to prison or what. Probably did these days. You go to prison for saying you don't like something. Anyway, yes, raise rants at protonmail.com. Let me know if you have any similar experiences. And I'll mention more about this on Sunday. Hopefully we'll have a few emails with some dreadful stories about do-gooders and parish council people. Take care, be good, be bad, don't get caught. It's lashing with rain here. I will see you on Sunday. Bye-bye for now.